opposing airstrikes. He will take up the argument and make the case for airstrikes. And if he is successful in making that case, he will hope that will galvanize enough opinion so he can hold that second vote on military action in Syria.
And he's always said that he will not do that unless he's sure he can win it.
And I suspect the view in government...
See more raids overnight on suspected Islamist extremists across the country as they continue to hunt for those responsible for Friday's attacks in Paris. There are reports that police have found a safe house used by the attackers in Bobigny, a suburb of Paris. Around 115,000 extra security personnel have been mobilized in the wake of the attacks, in which 129 people were killed. France has also called on...
And he described Islamic State as psychopathic monsters. Anna Holligan reports.
On the surface, life in Paris seems to be returning to normal. But for many, it will never be the same again. France has now mobilised 115,000 security personnel in the wake of the attacks by Islamist militants. Europe's most wanted man, Salah Abdeslam, is still on the run. These two photos have just been released. People are being warned not to approach him.
Of worship.
The US Secretary of State, John Kerry, is in Paris. Last night, he described members of the Islamic State as psychopathic monsters. After a meeting with President Hollande this morning, he said that America was committed to increasing their efforts against the group in every degree possible, thoughtfully and carefully.
We have to step up our efforts to hit them at the core, where they're planning these things. and also obviously to do more on borders and in terms of the movement of people. But the level of cooperation could not be higher. We've agreed even to exchange more information.
President Hollande's critics have accused him of being too weak abroad and immigrants died. The woman survived. Many Muslims are now afraid of the backlash against them caused by those who've hijacked their religion.
I'm very shocked because I coming here all the time. We have very big community.
A much more fresh cut, if you will, than the mugshot that we got in the international arrest warrant at the weekend. We've also learnt some interesting details about him. For 3 years he worked for the public bus company here in Brussels, but was sacked in 2012 for his poor timekeeping. He did try and get a job, incidentally, at the town hall behind me where his brother Mohammed worked, but was unsuccessful, and so he went to work with his older brother Brahim in a bar here in Molenbeek. Brahim was the brother that blew himself up on Boulevard Voltaire. Apparently that bar was raided in the summer and on the orders of the mayor, it was closed down.
State militants are trying to develop the ability to launch cyber attacks on UK targets like the National Grid or air traffic control. He's announced almost £2 billion in extra funding to fight cybercrime. Here's our security correspondent Frank Gardner.
A message of solidarity at the French embassy this morning. Nous sommes tous ensemble, wrote David Cameron. We are all together.
Build it.
Visiting this secret listening station today, the Chancellor was shown examples of encryption, digital analysis and code breaking. While there, he announced a package of new measures, including a doubling of funding for cybersecurity to £1.9 billion over the next 5 years. This is to combat the growing online threat to the UK's critical infrastructure.
$50 million reward to anyone who helps catch those responsible. The Islamic State group says it carried out the attack. This morning, the Egyptian authorities said 2 workers at Sharm el-Sheikh airport have been arrested. Here's our Moscow correspondent Steve Rosenberg.
Up till now, Russia had refused to speculate about what caused this plane to crash in the desert. Flight 9268, it was an act of terror.
The murder of our people over Sinai is one of the bloodiest crimes we've suffered. We will not dry our tears. This will remain forever in our hearts and minds. However, this will not stop us from finding and punishing the perpetrators. We will search wherever they may be hiding. We will find them anywhere on the planet and punish them.
In Sinai, a